At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I love y'all. I thank y'all. Thank you so much for the support. Reading some of these comments already. Y'all, sorry about being late. Seems like I'm always late on the podcast, but again, I apologize. But we're here now on this Thursday evening. We are headed to Nigeria on Sunday. I'm so looking forward to it. Again, we are headed to Nigeria on Sunday for the Oshun Festival. We are going to have an excellent time. Again, we are going to have an excellent time in Nigeria. A ball. Okay, so yeah, looking forward to that. We're also going to Zanzibar in September. Then we are rolling to Namibia and South Africa in November, and then Sierra Leone in December. So if you're interested in joining us on one of our tours, one of our trips, please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Again, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Yeah. Drop the link in the chat, mods. I need that. Okay, I'll put the link in the chat right now. You can hop on right now. There we go. Links in the chat room. Moto 486, call in. But again, please visit donfo.africa. Again, we're rolling to Zanzibar in September, Namibia and South Africa in November, and then we are going to where's the other stop? Sierra Leone in December for the first step for those who didn't come in April of citizenship. So yeah, that's what's going on, y'all. That is what's going on. Again, click on the link if you want to call in. Yeah, let's jump into today's topic. FBA is supposed to be boycotting Africans tomorrow, but trust me, them Koreans and them Chinese and the black community are going to get to the bag tomorrow. Thanks to FBA. Thanks to FBA. Them Koreans, Chinese, the Indians at the gas station, Jews, everybody going to get to the bag tomorrow. Thanks to FBA. What are y'all thoughts about that? I like to know why. And we talked about this yesterday. You want to boycott? Build a similar business right next door or across the street. That's how you boycott. Because the anger, we gonna rise up, the hell no, we won't go. It's gonna last maybe a week, maybe a day. After that, it'll be back to normal. These businesses aren't gonna be hurting at all. Again, these businesses aren't gonna be affected, aren't gonna be hurting at all. You know, there's I'm in the west end of Atlanta. There's an African lady that owns Afro Central Network right over here off of Route David Abernathy in Lee Street. I go there, been going there for years. And then there's an African store, Gambian, here in the Kroger, right around the corner from my house. I'll go in there, get my shea butter, my doo-doo oshun, my deodorant. I be trying to do the natural deodorant, but I got to get the real deodorant. I still be musty as hell. Like, I be trying to get the natural deodorant. Boy, this Georgia heat, but I be musty as hell. Step outside and start sweating, be musty. Yeah, that. I need the Old Spice, the blue Old Spice. Guys, give me. Hold on, give me a second. Guys, sorry about that to take that call. But yeah, that's what's How about using baking soda for deodorant? Oh, okay. All right. I guess you just throw it on there, just raw the baking soda. Just put the powder and throw it on your armpits. Nah, listen. This Georgia heat. You got to use the real deodorant. You got to use the blue Old Spice that make your armpits burn. That's the only deodorant that can handle this humidity and heat. All that natural stuff can't handle it. I'm sorry. Yeah, this Georgia heat with the humidity is different. You got to use the Old Spice, the blue Old Spice that make your armpits burn. That's what you got to use. But guys, links in the chat. I'm gonna put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in, please call in. If not, well, end it early. Make a paste. Okay. Make baking soda paste. All right. I'll look up the ingredients online for the baking soda paste. I'll look up the ingredients online. But yeah, link is in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, you can. Again, if you want to call in and add to the conversation, you are more than welcome. Baking soda and warm water. Got it. And you still don't think global warming is real. Man, it's been hot in Georgia. Now, I would say this is one of the hotter, humid summers here in Georgia. Because the first couple of years I was when I moved to Georgia from Cali and I went to the University of Georgia, it was hot. Like, it was hot. So it's been hot. But yeah. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in, call it. If not, we'll close out early. Yeah, but the boycott tomorrow is pointless. Again, the boycott tomorrow is pointless. Or the 486. Go ahead.
Oh, what's up, Uru? No, I wanted to see how I get a part of the trips. How do I get on the roster to join the trips, and what do I need to do to prepare? Because you know how they got customs and state emergencies for countries to visit and all that stuff. So I just want to see how y'all preparing to for. I think I looked up on the state website for US, and they have like an advisory for Nigeria. So
If it's not red, we're going, and they're very specific with the advisories what parts of Nigeria not to go to.
Okay. So if I might miss this one because it's too soon, when is the next one?
We're going to Zanzibar in September.
Okay, so Zanzibar, Nigeria, and how many other destinations in Africa are you going to?
So Zanzibar in September, that's September 21st to the 30th. Namibia and South Africa, that's in November.
Okay.
And then Sierra Leone in December.
How is South Africa in November?
We're going to Cape Town, so it's nice.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get on the list if I can.
Well, the site is right there. Go to danfo.africa, DANFO.Africa.
Okay. All right. I just want to call in and check in and see about the trips. I know FBA out there hustling and grinding, right? Building museums that nobody can go to. You all right? When can I go?
Is the museum still open?
I don't know. Can I go to it? Can I walk up to the museum and go in if I wanted to, like a regular museum? Nah, I don't think it is. I think who tried that? The Moore tried that, and I think they ran him off the block. But I'm good though. Uru, I just want to check in on the trips though, and
did you get you got the site pulled up?
You know what I'm looking at? I'm gonna pull it off. It's that Dano.Africa.
Danfo, DANFO.Africa.
I'm gonna go ahead and punch that in now. I could have just pulled that up, but if you drop that in chat, that'd be easy for me.
Okay, I'll drop it in chat right now.
All right, peace.
Just Danfo.Africa. Okay, for sure. Peace. All right, go ahead, man. Sake.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, man. I'm just observing this, like everything was going on. I just what I was sort of to say is just like, listen, before I say anything, I want to let people know that I got love and respect for my FBA and ADOS brothers. What I'm about to say, but what I'm saying is just like, I don't know. To me, I just feel like this boycott. I feel like it's with the women mostly, if that makes sense, with the African braid shops. And I mean, tell me if I'm wrong or not. Most of those women that operate the shops, are they not from the village?
Well, I'm not sure they're from the village, but they're definitely African.
Right. They're African, but I'm just saying that, like, most of them don't go to business school, and they treat just like how they treat everyone else. They treat everyone else the same. They might have some attitudes here and there and all that stuff, but that's just the way they are. Because you've been to West Africa, how's their services and stuff compared to, like, because they're direct. Am I right?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Right. Direct, not disrespectfully, but they're just direct. And then, like, if you do something that they don't like, then they're just gonna be direct with you. So I just feel like with some of the African women, they're just direct with as far as they're talking, and it can come off like disrespectful. Because if you're gonna have one woman from the village with a hood chick, and they both come together, personalities are gonna clash. Right?
Well, no, I just think there's just a level of decorum when you just go into someone's business and vice versa. But I mean, I don't understand what clash. Yeah, just I want my hair braided.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Right?
It's just I agree. It's just
yeah. I don't.
Their personalities and stuff too. Like, but like I said, I mean, for me, I've been dealing with that crap all my life. Like, you'll go. Might not even say hi to you sometimes, and then they're just like, "All right, get what you want," and just like whatever. I don't take it serious and stuff too. Along, it's not like something crazy like talking out of pocket, but just get the service and just leave.
Right, exactly, guys. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in, click on a link. If not, we'll close out early. The rain hasn't gotten to me yet, and hope it stays that way.
And then, I wanted to say something too. Like, ain't it crazy, like how they got Koreans, Asians, Indians, Middle Eastern, and they do far worse than them African business owners, and like they don't get like a massive boycott like this.
Right. Yeah. There's no massive boycotting the Koreans and the Chinese and the Vietnamese nail shops. No, not at all.
Right. And then and they far like disrespectful. They be putting hands on those women.
Right.
And even you even got some of the Middle Easterners. They have video that they posted up. I know there's a guy from Detroit. I don't know the dude's name, but he posted up videos with interacting with FBAs and him saying crazy stuff, and people still go and patronize his business.
Right. Exactly. And that's why I think
right.
this boycott on Africans is just it's laughable.
Right. It just doesn't make no sense. I just think there's just, you just got a certain demographic who just got certain animosity with a certain group of people, but just never traveled and just never had that experience. Because if you travel outside United States, everyone treats you friendly. Everyone says hi to you. There's no issue. But I don't know. I guess that's all I gotta say and stuff too. So I just want to see what's gonna happen after this.
Yeah. Everybody, links in the chat room. If you want to call in. If not, we'll close out.
Yeah, but that's all I want to say, brother.
How you feel about the Umar Johnson situation?
The one him begging for donations.
Well, that and what happened with his lady, I guess, and yeah.
Yeah. As far as Dr. Umar, man, like, the guys was on point. They've been called him out for years. But the ladies ain't want to listen, because the problem with Umar is, like I said, he's a good talker. He can talk. But the issue is, from what I understand, he doesn't know how to work with other people, especially with other black men. And when they try to offer the service to work with him, he doesn't want to work with nobody.
Right.
Kind of like an egotistical type thing, because he doesn't really have a history of working with other black men.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, if that was Farrakhan speaking, it would be different. Not saying I agree with everything what he says, but Farrakhan has a history of working with other black men, doing business with other black men and doing security and all that, et cetera, et cetera. But Dr. Umar doesn't have that experience. Or not saying he doesn't have the experience, but he doesn't really have that history.
Right.
And then and it's just so funny to me. It's like, and it's funny that how he was pandering to the women a lot, going hard, calling us men, like, yo, man, you need to do this and do that. And now he's going through something. And most of the women are like, you know what, why don't you go pick yourself by your bootstraps? And the brothers is like, see, Dr. Umar, this is what we was trying to tell you.
Right. Yes, sir. All right, Mortal, go ahead.
Just about Umar. Is it okay to chime in on Umar?
Yeah, go ahead.
Umar has been a while for a long time, and he's been around for a long time. And, I've been around a long time too, especially in the online community with the Black conscious community. And he's been the most consistent, to be quite honest. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was featured in Hidden Colors before that whole fallout was, happened. So that means he is a gray beard. You know what I mean? He is an elder, and we can't put that past him. Now I get it. And what he's saying now, I get people are dragging him for him begging for money. And I get it that, we got our opinions about his school and whatnot, but, first off, we know that you can't build no school. You could probably rent out a little strip mall and throw some little history in there and be braggadocious about that. But to take all these buildings that he has, which he did get, and I take my hat off to him for that. But like I said, he's going to need a little bit more than people's little like dusty $20 donations. You know what I mean? And thinking that they entitled to these strong opinions about him because they think he's not moving fast enough. You know what I mean? And so I think that, for what he's got right now, if you think that your money needs to go further, then you probably need to pay Umar a visit in Baltimore, especially if you're conscious. You know what I mean? We can sit on this computer all day and on our phones all day and throw slander at Umar all day. What he needs is muscle. I probably think I said this in your chat yesterday. He probably needs muscle more than he needs money. I know money goes a long way, but when he's talking about he needs systems built, you can see his buildings and the way they look. You know what I mean? I feel that if maybe Umar even had $1 million, $2 million, he probably wouldn't even know how to spend it on the school. He needs a lot of people. He needs a lot of people in his corner to kind of help put things in order, and he needs more manpower than anything. So if you got deep pockets and you put that money into Umar's pockets, then perhaps you're probably entitled to a strong opinion about the matter. And you can probably go to the school and say, hey, you know what? We go put this HVAC system in, or we go put this system in, this plumbing system in, this electrical system in, and work with them on that level. But, to sit here and kind of, this is kind of beta male energy to kind of sit and throw him under the bus like that. And Umar's his message has resonated far. He was in the trenches with us, even on Obama's term, saying that Obama was, not for the people. And Obama, look at Obama right now. His message has always been on point. So I think that never takes away from what he's saying. He's not gonna always knock it out the park. He go make mistakes. My boy he go say some things, and as of late, he kind of been, the message has kind of been hit or miss. But still, I still think he's through and through one of the thoroughbreds of the community. I think people need to lay off of him, to be quite honest. That's all.
Go ahead, Chanel.
Hey everyone, hey Dinus. I
Hey.
just wanted to talk about the topic. And as a black woman, a female, this boycott is not going to translate into real life. A lot of black women are not going to boycott their favorite African hair braiding shop. They're not going to boycott getting their hair done. They're not going to boycott getting their shea butter. They're not going to boycott anything when it comes to that. And I agree. Why isn't anyone boycotting the Vietnamese, the Korean, the Chinese, the Indian, the Arab? What is up with that? Why do we have to boycott the Africans? What disrespect has the African given so much that it needs to be a boycott? And mind you, there's not a lot of African businesses in a lot of these states
Right.
to even boycott. So I just wanted to say that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think it's all just pointless. Yeah, this whole boycott situation. So yeah. Go ahead, bro. Man's sake.
Oh, you can hear me? Oh, you can hear me.
I hear you now. Go ahead.
No, I was saying that it's just pointless because it's just I just think that maybe it might be like you said, bad service that it's just equate with the attitudes and stuff because of that. It's like, you know what, we're gonna go on a whole tangent, just everybody. Like it's just dumb. But I mean that's just me. That's just my opinion on it.
Well, to speak to the bad service as well, there's a lot of businesses that give bad service. I Since I moved to Georgia, there's been a lot of black-owned businesses that I frequent because I'm from New York City. So um, I've had there's this one black nail shop here. One of the girls she wasn't nice to a customer um, because she was having a bad day. So I mean, everybody gives bad service, but to say to boycott because they feel like they had a bad service is kind of weird to me because the Korean will lock black women in their nail shop and beat them up if they don't
Mhm.
pay. So
And you
yeah,
know they get sticks and stuff. Like you seen that video with they took those broomsticks and hit the
hmm
sister.
oh yeah, they'll do all that. They'll call the cops. They'll beat them with the broomsticks, like you said. I seen that video, and they'll even like stop doing their nails until they pay them. There's so where's the boycott of that? Because black women are still frequenting these beauty salons. So
Go ahead, Miss Sandman.
Hello. Yeah, thank you for letting me on. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Oh, great, great. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's a cosmetic thing. In the black community, we compete with each other a lot for businesses like hair, nails, things of that nature, things that I mean, I know it's important for women to look pretty and good looking all the time, especially if they're professional women and they have to go to work and they need to keep their hair looking good. But to make your business boycott proof, you have to have a business that's a necessity for the community, like grocery stores and transportation companies, things of that nature. So, you know, it's just a fad. It'll pass, I'm sure. This small little boycott, and if you were a smart business person, a smart African business person, you put something away for a rainy day like this. And once business picks back up, and maybe at the beginning of the school year, when all of the young ladies are going back to school, things of that nature, then you can get right back into it. But if you splurge and you wasted all of your money on partying or what have you, like a lot of your customers are probably doing, then that could be an issue for you. But hey, if they're business people, they know the game. It's it goes up and down. You got your cold times and your hot times. But as for FBA, talking about they want to boycott something, I don't think most African American people are paying a whole lot of attention to FBA. Maybe I'm wrong in that case, but yeah, I mean, I guess I'm more busy than other people. But where are these spaces that they're spreading this boycott thing around? Is it getting around just on like the internet, like YouTube or social media and platforms, things of that nature? Is that where they're pushing it? Yeah, because yeah, but my wife in particular, she said that she had to stop going to the African braiders. She had a one African lady that did her hair on a regular basis, and she said she had to stop doing it. Something about that that synthetic hair that they use for the braids or whatever. It has cancer properties. I don't know. It just seems like more of a topic for black women to talk on because I'm not a hairstylist or anything like that. But and my son he has that long hair too, and he braids his hair in cornrows. But and I think he goes to a black woman for that as well. So yeah, man, if you got long hair and you trying to look good for when you have, something coming up like a special event or what have you, then, then cosmetically you want to look good for, whether it be school or business, then of course, you're going to have to come back to those business owners. And it's not always about um, who has the best prices. Sometimes it's about who has the best service as well. So I think that, Africans, especially Nigerians, if they're Nigerian, they're known for being hustlers. So I know they ain't gonna let this discourage them. They're gonna bounce right back and keep their stores running and keep pushing the hustle. Like everybody else got to do in the United States. We all slaves to the dollar. Yeah, that's all I had to say. Thank you.
All right, let me pass it to potential Grizzly first.
Hey, what's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I respect Dennis. Thank you for letting me on. I was just want to say something quick, but I just think it's a little disingenuous to compare it to, Asian business owners or other business owners. We're talking specifically about this issue between these two groups. And it's disingenuous to just say, it's because of bad service. It's because of the nature of the bad service. The where it feels like the origin of the bad service is coming from, which my descendants were slaves. It feels like y'all think y'all better than us. That's where it feels like the origin of that service is. We get
But
lackluster,
you
half-ass
do
service.
understand they treat everyone the same, even their own tribes people get the same service.
We
You
we
do
we
know
we
that,
ain't
right?
we ain't feeling that. We ain't seeing or feeling that.
All right, but you're saying you're not feeling that, but you're saying that because the way they treat you, how do they treat you differently if they treat their own tribes people the same way?
Brother, we are certain that they don't feel that they're better than their own tribes people.
But that doesn't mean that they better than no one else because you just said that they think
Nah,
they
the
better.
the
That's not
air
the case.
that's definitely the case. That's why I wanted to say that. I've been listening for a few episodes on this. I feel like that's the case, definitely, and it's also disingenuous to feel like we're not hitting the origin of where these kind of viewpoints come from, which is in
Okay,
the
so
household where we
so so let
raised
me ask
that.
so let me ask
You
you a
know,
question. Did you go to the store and
those
say
parents those parents raised those kids to know that they're better than the FBA kids. Y'all
okay,
come
but
from
you
something,
do
y'all
but
have something. They don't have something. Don't act like them. Don't be like them. They grow
but
up to be
but
people that run those stores, that run these businesses, that disrespect us
but you
in our
do but you
communities.
but you do know, for example, in New York City, right? They got Nigerians, Ghanaians, Guineans. They all live in the same community with ADOS and FBAs. They all act the same. They don't treat nobody
I'm more
differently.
aware
You
than
know
you
that, right?
think.
Right?
I'm
Huh?
more aware than you think. Even my neighbors have been from those groups of people. This is from experience. I tell you that
But what you're
there's an
saying
air
that,
there's an
but
air of
what? Okay,
elitism
but that is
within the
anecdotal.
diaspora. You know what I'm saying? There's
But
elitism within the diaspora. We're
you
experiencing that.
do
So this
okay.
boycott is symbolism. We know it's not going to break down no African business. It's symbolism that we as a people are tired of that attitude. I feel like we confront this attitude, we can work better together. I know well about a place like New York City, believe me. So I know for a fact the attitude exists. I paid for the hair braiding to get done.
But the
You know,
thing
I've
is,
been there. I've seen it. I've seen it. It's real. It's real. I grew up with people whose ancestors are from the other places. It's real. We need to be real about the fact that that's how these two different groups of people are raised. Actually, my household, I wasn't raised to disrespect people from over there. We were raised to respect those folk. But when I got with my peers who were from those spots, yeah, they were raised to think that they were better because they had more grounding in their heritage.
but the
I'll
thing
pass
is
that. I
that,
land this. I
bro,
land this.
bro, everyone does
Yeah,
not have
can
the same mentality. Hold on, let me say something. For example, right? I was born in Guinea, right? So if you know who my president was, it's Sekou Touré. Sekou Touré was a Pan-Africanist, right? So I came here back in 1987. I grew up with FBAs. In fact, my mentor, Dr. Pruitt, is an FBA. He mentored me my whole life. Always had a foundation for FBAs and ADOS, right? I didn't disrespect nobody, but you know what happened with me? When I was growing up, speaking my tongue, guess who was the one that picked at me? It was my FBA brothers and sisters. Even when I went and I said, "Hey, we the same people," they said that we're not the same. This is we talk about back in the '90s. So you can't make this notion saying that how everyone thinks like that. Everyone does not think like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying every household. I'm saying as a general kind of ideology.
yeah.
But what I'm
I don't
saying,
think.
they
I
for
don't think. Oh, go
no, but I
ahead.
was saying that, for example, for me, I got FBAs who are married to my family. My aunt Lisa from Florida, who passed away, was an FBA woman, a beautiful black woman. So I'm just saying that everyone does not have this mentality.
Yeah, I think we could start off by stop using
It might be a generational
this
thing too. It might be
FBA.
generational.
We need to stop with using this FBA and ADOS nonsense. That's where a lot of the stuff, the divide seems to come from. You are either Black American or African American. These labels are not legitimate ethnicities. There are groups, and there's plenty of ways that we can prove that there are groups. As far as the disrespect concerns, there's disrespect enough to go on both sides of this, where it kind of like evens out. To be honest, I've been disrespected by certain people from certain countries, especially older people. In terms, I know there was an older Ugandan lady, maybe some older Nigerian ladies who were disrespectful, but many other people from Africa have been perfectly fine with me, and I have no problems with them whatsoever. In terms of their service, when it comes to making money and doing service, they do wonderful service in our communities. I take my daughter to get her hair braided, and she's 14, and she straight up told me, she said that, I was trying to take her to the African American place. She said, "We're not going to get in." She said, "Why?" Just they're going to ask you for you to. They're not going to take any walk-ins. They're going to ask you to take an appointment, and they're going to turn you away. Sure enough, that's what happened when I walked into the African American hair braiding spot. I went across around the corner to the African place with these people who I believe were from Niger. They take you right in right away. Two people working on your head get you in and out. They do great work. And there's not just, I don't feel like there's any real disrespect there. My concern is that you've had a whole generation of Asians killing and whipping Black people's asses all up and down the country. Black men have been telling Black women to stop going to these places, and they refuse. Matter of fact, they'll turn on Black men for telling them to stop going to these places. But yet, we want to start going ahead and boycotting people who provide perfectly good service to us in our own communities. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
I wanted to ask, can anyone on the panel give an example of disrespect that an African or a Caribbean person gives to FBA, and a solid example?
Well, I'll give a solid example. A solid example would be I would befriend some people from Uganda. He'll introduce me to his mother. His mother will just like not talk to me. That's I've had that happen before. So those things do happen. I'm not in complete denial of that. But and dealing with people of my generation and younger, I've had absolutely zero problems. And when it comes to going to their businesses, we have zero problems with their businesses. We have far less problems with them and going to their businesses than we do constantly begging Asians for their hair and for their products in the beauty store. And so we need to keep that in mind, that we can't just turn on our own like rabid dogs and allow Asians to go out there and beat black shoplifters in the streets like rabid dogs and think people are going to take it seriously.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I have a really good friend from Tanzania. We went to college together and everything. And I actually went to college upstate New York. And there were a lot of Japanese foreign exchange students and African foreign exchange students. The only one that ever showed me like any bad face was one of the Arab students from a Arab African country. But the ones from West Africa, they were really nice and welcoming. And that's how I met my friend from Tanzania as well, because she was my friend's roommate. And we all cooked together, cultural foreign exchange. Um, I did her hair, and she didn't had anything bad to say about FBAs. Actually, she dated an FBA boy at the time on campus. So I just don't see a lot of these. I just don't see, like you said, it's not enough to boycott, is what I'm saying. I'm only seeing stuff on the internet, but outside of the internet, I don't see that.
Right, because FBA and ADOS are basically splinter cells that are out to divide any unity that's going on in the diaspora. In my opinion, I think you got people like Tariq Nasheed who are flat out agents, and that's where a lot of this stuff is coming from.
All right, let me pass the mic to Adrio Gumati.
Oh, good evening, everybody. How y'all doing?
Yeah.
My thing is, I just want to comment on the disrespect that we quote unquote get from other groups of people, regardless of who it is. You have to understand that the media plays a very big role in that, and the problem is we don't hold the media accountable in the way that they view us. So instead of boycott, not the way that they view it, the way that they portray us and our quote unquote culture. So if we want to have an effective boycott, it would be more effective to boycott these mass media companies. We need to write letters to the broadcasting people, the heads of the production leaders, and the things of that nature, and let them know if they keep portraying black people in these horrible ways, keep trying to make it seem like the pervasive aspects of our culture are all negative, and which there is some of that is alive in our community, but for them portraying that's who we need to boycott, not the people that just view the stuff. But I'll use the mic.
Can I add one more thing?
Go ahead.
If talking about the images that are put out about us around the world, I want everybody do a little homework, man. Go on Tubi and see what kind of images they have of African Americans around the world. And that's a global company owned by Rupert Murdoch. If that is representation that the world has of black people in America, that should be scary to us. We should probably be a little more self-conscious about that and the independent filmmakers here in America who are portraying a lot of those images and putting it on that platform than anything else, because that is ruinous to our image, to be honest.
Majority, you'll be hard pressed to find anything that shows the good in our community, and even if you do, it's gonna be some layer of criminality and degenerate behavior that's gonna be within that. So, we as Black American people need to stop being so sensitive and actually be realistic of why people the globe views us as clowns, because we take pride in the clown behavior. Hip hop should not be championed as something we're proud of. Hip hop is a disgrace, what it's become. It's disgusting. And the fact that there's a extremely large portion of our population that takes pride in that the music and the culture of all hip hop is it's a what it's like it's really KKK music. It's a global it's a commercial for European consumerism. They don't talk about anything. There's nothing positive in it, and even the positive aspects of hip hop are still shrouded in negativity mostly. Like, we have to take accountability for our image and our culture. If we continue to allow our culture to erode and deteriorate, we can't be mad at other people for looking at us with disdain. So, like, all of it needs to be inward. There's no excuse for the artists that are popular in our community to be popular. I mean, just go listen to a hip hop radio station, man. It's despicable. The stuff that we let our children listen to is despicable. And it's not, and it goes to every demographic of Black America, because I grew up in the Chicagoland area. We were middle class in the south suburbs. I grew up in the city in my early years, but we moved out to the south suburbs when I was like a teenager. And you got kids in the suburbs that are middle class, upper middle class, and they want to try to be like the gangsters and the killers in the inner city because of the influence of rap music, bro. Like, it's goofy, and that being pervasive in our community is a disgrace. So that's what we need to boycott, man. People need to stop being so sensitive and stop trying to blame other people for the way they view us. I understand with Europeans, because that they really constructed this identity, but we can't. We have to take responsibility for embracing the identity, because they've been trying to do it. Then they've been trying to destroy our image for the entire time that we've been in this country with Sambo and all the other stuff. The problem is when we embrace that, because we see that we can get monetary value from it. But I'll let somebody else speak.
I agree with you on that one. I just wanted to add to the Zeus network as well is also another aspect of it, and it's seeping into a lot of different parts of the world. The baddies, for example, is bringing. They go to the Caribbean, they go to Africa, and they do that debauchery there, and then we wonder why we're portrayed in this way when we're actually bringing it to other Black people. So I definitely agree with you on that one.
Yeah, that Zeus network needs to be. I wasn't even aware of that till my little cousin. I think 2 weeks ago, she was watching some show, and it was just a bunch of I ain't like they was just fighting. I don't even know what it was. They had always like that, bro. That if anybody that's foreign would look at that stuff, bro, that stuff is disgusting, bro. Like they have no morals. Everything they do is they trying to just consumerism is irresponsibility as far as sexual behavior. Like, it's degenerate, bro. That's what you need to be. That's what FBA, quote unquote. I don't even want to. I'm not using that term no more. That's what those people need to boycott, bro, and delineate from. It's the degeneracy, bro. It's within the younger demographic, which I'm a part of, bro. It's embraced, and people take pride in that stuff, and that's not our culture, bro. If our ancestors from 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years ago could see what this younger generation has become, bro, they would be our own ancestors would be ashamed of being around us, bro. Our own ancestors would be ashamed of what we have become as a people, bro. It's disgraceful. There's no back in the day, if you had a baby at a wedlock, you done had to had yourself. Like, if you had a baby, a lot of people went up north because they had a baby. Like, they messed around and had a baby at a wedlock. Their parents sent them up north because they didn't want them to put shame on the family. Nowadays, it's an anomaly not to see people that don't have no babies at a wedlock. Like, back, like, our culture, people need to stop acting like our culture has been continuous and been the same, bro. And within the last 40 years, bro, it's deteriorated horribly, and people don't want to take accountability for that.
All right, let's see here. Guys, Sid, did you speak, Sid?
Hey, Dennis.
Hey,
Hey, um, so my view on the whole FBA things is I just want to be African to be careful the way they're being so emotional and trying to react because we don't want to ignore the other African Americans, the good ones. So people going on social media, making some nasty remarks about the entire African American community. It's not really good. People should be very careful. Or the motive of FBA is to divide us. They're saying this is not only against Africans, it's against the progressive or successful African Americans that have businesses in Africa. They have been taking, specifically you, Danis, and other guys in Ghana or Kenya that have a successful business running. They're against all of us. Their motive is to separate. They have tried so many ways, and they think this is the only way that they can do it to break us, and we shouldn't accept that. But the Africans, on the other end, they have to be very careful the way they're trying to react to the situation. This is not all African Americans. So we should not give a bigger platform to this type of divisive literature that is going on. We have to be very, very careful with that. I know for a fact that people get some disrespect. Even for me right now, I was at New York Sport Club this morning on 125th Street. The African Americans that I work out with at the gym, they don't even know what this is going on. They have no idea this is going on. So when I mention it, they say, this is what they are crazy. We don't even know if something like this going on. And after work today, I walk around in Harlem, went to 116, 125th Street. I see African American going to African restaurant, even the new Nigerian restaurant that they are opening on 125th Street. So they don't have that type of bigger platform. We just need to be very careful. Their motive is to devour us more, and they are not going to be successful. And you find out that most of the FBA are very, very, uh, they have no success at all. Most of them down the line. So they're trying to bring the other people with them in our perspective. So we need to be very, very careful with that. So let us, for example, if I go to Guinean restaurant in Harlem or Senegalese restaurant, if I speak English, sometimes they disrespect me because they expect that everybody that work in that restaurant speak either Mandingo or Fula or Wolof, or if not that, you speak French. But if you speak English, they think that you're trying to take yourself so important, but then why you can't speak French? I've been attacked like that so many times. But even though I understand French, I don't speak it very well, but I will be attacked. But because of people now, people live within their community, they expect everybody that walk into that restaurant speak French or Wolof or Fulani or Madingo. So I experienced that. So we need to be very, very careful, specifically Africans in Nigerians, the way they reacting to the French people, they don't even know what is going on. But the English speaking part, like the Liberian, the Ghanaian, the Nigerian, the way they're reacting to the situation going after the entire African American community is not good. They have to be very, very careful. This is just a few failed group called and say FBA trying to devour us. So you for now. Thanks.
all right, let me pass the mic to Shay. Go ahead, Shay.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is. I just want to keep it on topic.
Go ahead.
It says FBA boycotting. What about Asians, Indians, and others? First of all, the title of FBA and ADOS, I'm just surprised that people are really holding tight to that in relationship to whether we're dealing with Africans, Asians, Indians, and Chinese. All of these other people from other places have no clue about FBA ADOS. So I'm surprised that that's part of the conversation. But I'm thinking that the lettered agencies are stoking separation and categorizing and labeling of Black people in America. And I've traveled myself to several African nations. I'm building specifically in one right now. I've done my African ancestry, and it points me to the Mendi tribe on my mother's side in Sierra Leone. And in my experience, I've had my hair braided.
You want to roll
in-
to Sierra Leone with us in December?
if my funds can accommodate, I'll think about it. I'll consider it.
Okay. No.
But I've had my hair done in multiple different African braiding shops. I've been to, different African businesses. And because of a couple of personal experiences that may have not been the greatest, I'm surprised that Black Americans are boycotting African businesses. And then for the many plethora of scenarios that Black Americans for centuries have been dealing with as it relates to other nations, whether it's Chinese, Korean nail shops, Arabian gas stations, things of that nature. I'm originally from Long Island, New York. So my cultural experience is kind of broad. And then my family moved down south where we're dealing with, the Black, white, and Native American, culture. So I don't understand how all of a sudden we're going to go out of our way to boycott Africans when we've been dealing with Asian devaluation, we've been dealing with Arabian devaluation, we've been dealing with Indian devaluation. Indians are very adamant that they don't want to deal with Black people, and a lot of Indian East Indians, they don't want to deal with Black people. Mahatma Gandhi himself did not want to stand beside Black people. You know what I mean? When it came to the apartheid in South Africa. So they are notorious for saying that they don't want to deal with Black people, Black Americans. I'm in Qatar right now, and it's rampant here. The Filipinos here, they do not deal with the Kenyans here in the labor force because they don't want to be associated with Black people in general, not even African Americans, but African people in general. So I'm just surprised that we're going out of our way to create more delineation amongst Black people because all of a sudden we are identifying as FBA, ADOS, or whatever. So why not boycott all businesses of quote unquote immigrants that are devaluing Black Americans? Be real in your boycott. It should be any businesses that are devaluing, discrediting, or being disrespectful to any Black American, not just an FBA, not just an ADOS, not just a whoever type of Black American, but any foreign entity, foreign nation, or nationality that is disrespecting Black Americans in general. But don't just pick and choose one or two just because, oh, I went to too many braiding shops and they cursed me out or treated me bad or took my money. It happens all the time in Chinese restaurants, in Korean and Vietnamese restaurants and all that stuff. I'm just shocked. I'm like really shocked. And let me get off of here because it's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning here in Qatar. But
Okay. All right, Reverend Green.
I'll continue to listen.
All right, Reverend Green, go ahead and we'll close out. Go ahead, Reverend Green.
Yes. How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
That's great. That's great. So, if people are in doubt of what's finna occur in less than 24 hours,
The build up.
fasten your seatbelts. Introducing a visual board of what will occur. Within 15 business days of the August calendar of 2025 as we know it. Submission and surrender. Please help me, FBA. We're not like them. Will be echoing from hemisphere to hemisphere. And all the New Yorkers who think they have it locked down. Oh, this is not going to happen. Who fooled Mr. Trolley twice on Sunday? Keep fooling yourselves. This is in effect, and you're not going to like it. These shell companies, these hair braiding shops, they're nothing but fronts, undercutting and undermining the American dollar. Why August? This is the month of resistance.
This New
Okay, look
Yorker
into
says
it.
it's not. That's not
You
gonna.
can laugh
That's not
all you
gonna
want.
happen. It's not
You
gonna
laugh
happen.
all you want. Look at the data. Look at the data of FBA in the
It's
month of
not.
August.
It's not gonna happen.
Have a good night, man. I'll listen to the next program. Good night, man. Sure. Bye.
Where do you think? What would you think if it didn't happen? You think what FBA is soft or something?
No, I'm not thinking that FBA are soft. It's not gonna happen. That doesn't translate outside of the internet. It's not. People are
Okay,
going to.
that's what
Black
we.
women are still going to
That's
get their
what
hair done.
FBA.
They're going to get their
That's what
daughter's
your.
hairs done at the
Uh-huh.
African braiding shop for school coming up. This New Yorker says it. I said it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not. It's just not.
New York is just a microcosm in the scheme of things. New York hasn't been New York in the longest. Come on. New Yorkers are fleeing left and right.
You
They don't
called
even
us
want to
out
be in New
though.
York.
You called us out. So what I'm saying is this.
You said New York is the end all be all or something.
I'm not saying New York is the end all be all. I live in Georgia, and there's
Mhm.
African braid shops right now here in
Getting
Georgia
shut down left
that
and
are
right.
still open today. Fatima's up the street from me. She's still going to
Hmm.
braid everyone's hair tomorrow,
That's nice.
and she's going to braid an FBA hair tomorrow. So, because kids got to go to school, and they're not going to waste their time and go where
Within
they have to make
within
appointments.
within 15 business days.
Okay.
Talk to me
Okay.
again.
All right, let me pass the mic to questions to ponder.
Tick tock, tick tock. 14 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. The world as we know it will irrevocably change. Dinah, we don't care. We got jobs, we have bills. Nobody cares. Furthermore, these African braiding salons are technically not salons. I actually put some information in your back chat. To simply just braid hair, you don't
need a beauty
exactly
a
a
license or
license.
whatever.
No, you don't. Most of these places, you can't even wash hair. And if you even wash hair, you have to have a license. So these African braiding salons, quote unquote, it's just like simply going like to your grandmother's house, your mother's house. They just have a business. And they actually lobbied for this because the state of New Jersey was actually going after these braiding salons, requiring them to have a license. And they made it clear, we're African, we are Black women, this is what we do. We braid hair. And of course, we're going to charge. Dinah, I spent half my childhood in a Black woman's home getting my hair done. My mother can't even do it herself. So if you're going to boycott these salons, this is I mentioned this to you, Dynas, because it's a very niche group. Black women hair are braiding our hair is very unique unto ourselves. It is cultural, it is thousands of years old. Black women who go to these salons are not going to boycott because it's very, very hard to find a salon. Like Dynas, you as a man, I was actually told this by my brother. Men don't go to different barbers. Like you go to one barber, you go to that same barber for decades, starting from childhood.
For years. Yeah, he's right.
Exactly. Thank you, Dinah. Same thing with us as Black women. We have that one girl or grandmother who's been braiding our hair, and she will continue to braid our hair, our daughter's hair. We provide referrals. If this is unique unto us as Black women with our hair texture. So this boycott is irrelevant. Nobody cares. Even if there is a Black woman who's angry at an African woman, she still is going to get her hair done. Because remember, a lot of these Black women, you're braiding the hair to then have weave sewn into your braided hair. So you actually go to two salons. You go to the African braider, and then you go to the girl who's going to do your sewing. There's a lot of complexity when it comes to Black women and our hair. So this little boycott, it's just further. It's just distraction. It's people who are bored. It's people who are angry and bitter, and they will not deal with the underlying issue, which is their problem. If you have such an issue with these tethers, quote unquote, leave them alone. You don't even go in their salons. The fact you would even have a Black man talk about an African braid boycott, you don't even get your hair braided there. Furthermore, if you have a daughter, who's going to do her hair? You're going to have one of these baby mamas or the white girlfriend do her hair? Many of you can't even you love white women, good for you, no shade. But you have a daughter who's biracial. Who's doing her hair? Is your sister doing her hair? Are you paying your sister to do your daughter's hair, your biracial child's hair? Please stop, Dynas. We all know what's going on. And I'll land the plane. If I may say one last thing, the most important thing, don't worry about these African braiders. You want to boycott them? How about boycott these African doctors? We don't even have enough Black doctors. And 50%, a lot of them are these tethers, these quote unquote tethers. Boycott them. Boycott them. We don't even have enough physicians to service and provide medical care to 40+ million Black people. If you want to boycott African, boycott the doctors. Stop going to them. Start calling ICE. Start trying to revoke their license. Do that. And you see where you are. When you don't have the appropriate services and medical care because of your high blood pressure, you have dialysis and you're missing a foot, Dion. Boycott that. Stop worrying about these African braiders who could barely understand what an American is speaking, because many of these Africans, they speak with such a heavy accent. When an American speaks, you're speaking very fast. They can't even understand what you're saying. Like, this is coming off like bullying. Dynas, thank you for your time.
No problem. Guys, we're going to go ahead and close. Let me read this super chat first. Varney and Jola Carmo, thank you for $1.99. Holla. Why don't Black Americans have their own salons? They have their own salons, but they don't really have their own braiding. We don't have our own braiding. So we don't specialize in braiding like the Africans do now. So everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Dynasty, search for Peace.